Beautiful weather today. I'm in a place called Penmon in the county of Ynys Môn in Wales. Seem to be making a lot of videos from here at the moment. Today I'm going to visit Penmon Priory, which is not far from here. It's a pretty significant spot in Welsh history really, because the first and the third Princess of Wales were buried there. The island you can see in the distance is Ynys Seriol. I was hoping to get some drone footage over the island actually, because there's the remains of a 12th century monastery on the island. I'd say there's a 20% chance of me getting a break in the weather whilst I'm here. We'll see. Despite the rain, there's quite a few people about. And this is Penmon Priory. You can only really see the church from here. The monks' accommodation is the other side of the church. I'll show you that later. If you look in the left-hand side of the picture, you can see quite an unusual building. That's actually a dovecot, if that's how you pronounce it. It was large enough to hold 1,000 doves. That's actually a later building. The priory dates back from the current buildings dates back from the 12th century, and the dovecot dates back to the 15th century. Now, I mentioned earlier that 2 princesses of Wales were buried here. They weren't actually buried, they would have been in a stone sarcophagus. Both graves were desecrated at some point, and only one of the sarcophaguses have come to light, and that one's now been placed in a church in nearby Beaumaris. And there's some doubt about whose sarcophagus it is. The most common belief is that it belonged to the first Princess of Wales, Princess Joan. She was married to Llywelyn the Great. She would have been a Norman princess, and she was the daughter of King John of England. She's more commonly known in Wales as Princess Siwan, which would be the Welsh version of her name. She was a very popular Princess of Wales and was an excellent diplomat. But after many years of marriage, she did have an affair. And she was kind of lucky. Llywelyn the Great only imprisoned her for a time where he could have easily have arranged her execution. Now, the Baron who she had an affair with was executed by hanging by the nearest tree. That was the only time that Llywelyn the Great acted out of anger. The other Princess of Wales who had been buried here was Eleanor de Montfort. And she was actually a cousin of Edward I, or Edward Longshanks. If you're not sure who he is, he's the king that's depicted in the film Braveheart. When Eleanor de Montfort was travelling to Wales to marry the then Prince of Wales, Llywelyn ap Gruffydd, her boat was intercepted by the Scilly Isles, and she was imprisoned for a number of years by Edward Longshanks. There was a war between England and Wales in 1277, and it was only after the treaty was signed following that war that Eleanor de Montfort was allowed to marry Llywelyn ap Gruffydd. Both Princess Joan and Princess Eleanor both died in the royal residence at Aber, which is directly across the water from the priory. So their bodies would have been transported to the priory by boat. Both of the princesses died before their husbands. Eleanor de Montfort actually died giving birth to Princess Gwenllian. Princess Gwenllian would later be taken into captivity by Edward I, following the conquest of Wales. She was only 1 year old when she was taken into captivity, and she grew up not knowing anything about her ancestry. Although this building looks like it might be older than the church, it's actually not. The church does predate it. So this is basically the monks' accommodation. Just go inside. I think my brolly will fit through there. Yeah. Oh, this would have been the cellar. And you can see where the floor beams would have been there. So just above there would have been the dining hall, I believe. And then the next floor up would have been where the monks slept. Seems to be the stone's got like a cross carved into it, I think. Like a Celtic cross. Okay, let's go in here. I believe this is where the kitchen and some private apartments were. See up there, you can see a fireplace. There's a, don't know what this is, it doesn't go anywhere. By the smell, somebody's been using it as a toilet.